Hello friends! Welcome back to the How Fast Crafter. I'm Laura, the How Fast Crafter. Also pronounced half-ass, but I don't want to have to say that there's lots of naughty language in my videos. So what I'm going to do today is I am flipping through this very quickly so that new folks can see what all I've done. I think about 90% of these were done in a video, so you can go look in the past videos if you want to see me do any of these. Spoiler alert, in the beginning of the video, I am telling you that I'm going to do something totally different than what actually ends up happening. But it's incredibly fun for me to watch because I forget that I had something completely different in mind, but then something else manifests. All right. Oh no, don't be stuck there. So this is for that. Gonna work on this next week. I have an idea for it. Why is everything stuck together? Why are we sticking? Oh no. No, now I'm very sad. That wasn't dry. Oh. Well, such is life. Such is life. Gotta keep moving on. Okay, so I am at the very end of this art journal. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages left. This page I have stuck extra paint on. Same thing on this page. I was talking to Stephanie today. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie has been a subscriber of mine from, I believe, the very beginning. I feel like, Stephanie, were you my very first comment? You might have been, or super close to it. Like maybe 3 people commented and she was one of them. I don't remember. I know there's a few other folks who have been around for a while, but I was talking to Stephanie today, so that's why I'm mentioning her. So she had asked in the video where I did this about the background. Ugh, I'm really upset about this. Anyway, she had asked about the background and we were talking about it. And I told her that I really, really, really think that you should gesso before doing anything on your background. So this is just paint on a non-gessoed background. This is too. But what I have learned is if I've done anything to my background and then I want to add more layers on top, gesso makes those layer additions happen and it makes them take way easier. So what I thought I would do is explain what I mean by all of this. Because then Stephanie had questions about, do you gesso before or after adding a border, stuff like that. So let's see if I can find, so like this has a border. It's been gessoed by accident. This has been gessoed. This has a border. I think I might have gessoed this, but then I added some mica spray stain because I wanted to see if the mica would come off. It does. It still comes off. It's not as bad, but it does still come off. So these are the borders. So a lot of people put a border around their paper dolls and then they'll put a paper doll on them. And see, this is another border. So I wanted to go over what I have learned from this art journal so far. Here's another border. I don't think that this was gessoed. No, neither one of these were gessoed. These had paint on them, and then I think I put pan pastels on them, actually. So let's talk about it. So gesso has a tooth. If you watch other really kind of wish that this were damp. Hang on. Okay, this was just really dry. If you've watched any of my videos, I tell you about how I live in the desert. Everything's very, very, very dry. So I wanted to spray this with water because it was so dry. I was afraid it would just soak up all of this gesso and not let me spread it around. Which, as you can see, it has soaked up the gesso and is not letting me spread it around. So gesso has a tooth. It's used to it's essentially like a primer, if you think of it that way. It primes surfaces so that the paint will have something to soak down into, I guess, is a way to put it. And remember, I'm not an art teacher, so I'm not gonna teach you the technical ins and outs. I'm literally telling you what I have learned. As someone who has a non-artsy full-time job and whose hobbies are doing art and riding horses. That's it. That's what I tell everybody. I just want to do art and ride horses. So I'm not an art teacher. I went to art school for a year, but I was like 20 when I did that or something. So I could be giving you bad advice, but I'm telling you what works for me. I think that you should gesso your pages. And I know some people don't, and that's fine and dandy. And a lot of my pages aren't gessoed, but the pages that I gessoed on a whim all have taken the media that is the stuff you're using to create with. So your media could be paper, it could be paint, it could be inks, it could be pencils, watercolors, whatever. That's a media. That's why it's called mixed media, because maybe it has paint and maybe it has markers and some ink and some paper and some found objects like buttons or fabric, but those are all media. So I am going to gesso these pages. I actually really kind of like this one. Oh, there we go. Woo, how long did y'all sit there and go, just please figure it out and move that thing just a smidge, just a smidgen? I know. I do that too when I'm watching videos and people get just a little out of frame. I'm like, just move it, just move it. And then they'll go, oh, I need to move you. And I'm like, ah, yes. So what I mean when I say that you should gesso your pages is before you put anything on them, I would gesso them. So, you know, you can do what I'm doing, which is I have 5 pages left. I wanted to talk about gesso and prepping your workspace or your work surface before you actually get to work. And just like, you know, a lot of people will tell you to, hey, you know, sit down and do all of your backgrounds at one time so that, you know, if you're going to get your paints out and be messy and dirty, just do it all at one time. Well, I think you should do that with gesso, because I think that this step, while you can still create something very beautiful without gesso, obviously, I think that it is pretty important. So I made a little page last night and I didn't gesso. And the pages that I've been working with in this art journal have been gessoed. And then last night I decided I would work in one of my Dilutions journals. And I haven't broken those out yet because I wanted to finish this one first. So I thought, well, I've got this little paper doll that I made and I want to put her somewhere. So I'm going to put her in one of my little Dilutions journals. And so I'm going to show you that lady and that layout, and I'm going to talk about it. So, but I didn't gesso any of that. So let me put some gesso on here. I don't even know what that is. Oh, good, it came off. Whoa. Well, I'm going to put gesso on everything. Gessoing the dog. Where is she? So There's no dog in here. Calm down. It's all right, y'all. It's all right. I'm not actually going to gesso a dog. I mean, they probably wouldn't let me anyway. They would be like, no, crazy lady. We do not need that. But thank you for trying. So, and you'll notice, like, I'm not trying to make it perfect and super even. I just want to put gesso on the page. Come on, you can do it. There you go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put something on there to hold that up. I don't mind this little bit. It's texture. Some people pay a lot of money for things that'll give them texture like that. And then I just want to put things down so that these pages don't touch. Okay, so let's talk about non-gessoing. Okay, non-gessoing is probably not the correct term. But let me scoot this out of the way. Oops. Okay, so what I have here is, this is the Dilutions Journal. It's just a little one. And what I did, hopefully it doesn't stick together. Not really. So what I did here was, I put down, let me show you. First I put down this acrylic paint, and then I put a stencil down and I sprayed it with this acrylic gloss, acrylic spray. So there's no gesso on here, and the paint took fine. It's not coming up, nothing bad like that. But the paint went on and there wasn't a tooth on there to hang on to the paint. And so it just, the paper just soaked it in. And then, so I did have to use like 3 pretty good, squirts of that stuff. So I definitely noticed a difference. And this could be also because it is dry here and all the paper and everything dries out. I mean, I have the beginnings of petrified wood out in my yard. It's very fascinating, but that's how dry it is here. So it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. She went down just fine. The gloss sprays went on just fine. And here we are. So I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. But I really do think that working with the gesso pages is way better. So, but don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. So, one of the questions that Stephanie asked was, do I put down my border and then gesso? And so first off, you can do whatever you want. So this one I did gesso over the border because I didn't want the border to be a piece of the actual whole collage. Same thing over here. I gessoed this border to knock it back so that it wasn't so bright and vibrant. And because I wanted my poor lady, I wanted my lady and then these little dots to be front and center, not the border. Now, some of them, the border is part of the actual collage. Like this one, the border is part of the collage. It like holds it all in here. Same here, right? This like frames out what's going on. So what you want to do, if you want to knock back your border, go for it. Gesso it. Gesso is great for doing it. If you want your border to pop, don't gesso it. There is also clear gesso. So if you use clear gesso, you totally can do that. You can put down your border, you can gesso it, whatever you want to do. The only reason I gessoed this is to knock this back. I gessoed this because I was going to spray some acrylics on top and to knock back this. Like I still want these lines to show up, but I didn't want that to be part of the actual collage. Maybe I should have kept it, up for debate. But I wanted to add these acrylic gloss sprays, and so in order to do that, I wanted to gesso it before I did that. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. So these were gessoed, and then these are the ones where we figured out, because Birdie tried to do these backgrounds as well, and her paint came up. This is August's challenge, by the way, if you're wondering what this is. If you haven't seen it, this is August's challenge. I've been searching for you, the self from my past. And I'm going to use this nice lady. And some gesso, actually. It's going to be exciting next week. So, where was I? So, Birdie tried this, but she didn't gesso. And so when she went to go take the paint up with her stencil, she took all the paint up. And it didn't even occur to me that it was the gesso that was holding that paint on. So that when you put a stencil down, or I guess it was this one actually. That's what these are. So these are where I painted this blue down. I put a stencil down. I took a wet wipe and I wiped up all the blue paint. And I wanted the paint that was under it. And when Birdie tried this, she went all the way down and pulled all the paint up. And as she did it, I realized, oh my gosh, I think the gesso is what made that paint hold on. I don't know that to be true, but that's the only difference, because I watched Birdie's video and I was like, I was as surprised as she was when she's like, well, wait, it's taking up all the paint. And I was like, why is it taking up all the paint? And then I realized. So that was one reason to gesso, is if you're going to be doing layers like this with paint, you're going to want to gesso. And I know it's an added step, but you know, we just gessoed 5 pages just now. That's it, they're done. And this one's almost completely done. But now when you feel them, they're rough. They have like a tooth to them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some more magazine collage. There's a lot of gesso right there. I'm gonna do some more magazine collage because I want to use up these pages. So so now actually what I want to do, I do want to do magazine collage on these, but what I really want to do is I want to do something on this back. So there's already paint on there, gessoed over the paint, knock the paint back a little, and then what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of this pink on here. However, when I open this pink, oh no, it's not going to do it. Great. All my other paints have been barfing on me because I live at elevation and just enough to make a difference. So what I'm gonna do, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Okay, so I have these ridiculously large brushes. Aren't these crazy? Whoa. That's my hand, y'all. I mean, I don't have massive hands, but they're not teeny tiny either. Okay, this is super, super, super thin. I'm going to spray this brush. I'm doing this with the brush. I don't want to do it very hard right here, to knock some of the water out of it. That puts the water inside the brush and not just on top of the brush. And now what I want to do, maybe I needed more water. But I'm gonna do a dot, a dot, a dot, a dot, and a dot. Spray it with water again. I'm not going to knock the water out this time because then I would paint my hand pink. This time I'm going to try to do more of a wash. Ooh, that is so bright. It kind of hurts my eyeballs. Holy smokes. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go and rinse this brush out. Yes. Okay, so I've got that. That's a background, and I can decide that I want to spray it with distress sprays or spray it with some other acrylic sprays. I don't think I have any light ones, do I? I do. I have this mineral, which is actually very similar to the blue with the gesso on top. So let's use a little bit of this. This is going to knock back this pink a little, and it's going to create some really interesting textures. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if y'all watch Birdie the Recycled Hippie Chick, but she always says, work through the ugly. And I love that. Amen to Birdie. Work through the ugly. That's my whole crafting experience. Just working through the ugly. So, okay, so I've got this. It's got to dry. I'm going to move it off to the side for a minute. Okay, this is one of the magazines that I got from the Montana thrift store. So I thought what I would do is we would go through it and see if we can find a face that we like, or a head. Let's work on, oh, her body's pretty great though. Okay, hang on. We're gonna put a little marker in here. Her eyes are pretty good. Well, how big are these? These ladies with their long legs. I mean, good for them. But are they even real? Did they add, hang on. Did they add length to these ladies? It wouldn't surprise me. So, I need to find, these are good eyes. I need to find a face. I'm not sure that I'll do eyes because sometimes the eyes just, sometimes I just don't like the eyes. I feel like I'm not good at redoing people's eyes because I don't think I want to do it. Oh yeah, I like her. She's cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna go flip through this, see what I can find. It's gonna be very boring. You don't want to watch. I'll come back with what I can find. I'm gonna try to stay in this magazine. And, oh yeah, I wanted to cut that out. Oh, you can't see that. Let's pull it up. I wanted to cut this out. I'll see what I can find and I'll come back. I'll show you. I'll try not to cut it out, but sometimes I get really inspired and I just start cutting things and then I'm like, oh, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. Oops. Oh, she's cool. She's got a hat. All of these ladies with a 3/4 degree turn. Oh, she doesn't have a 3/4 degree turn. All right, I'm gonna go look. I know I keep saying that, but now I'm really gonna go do it. Okay, we're back. So we already marked these ladies when I went through this magazine. What I thought was funny was the front of this magazine matches the colors that I chose for my background. How I didn't notice that in the beginning, I don't know. And then I also found these, well, there's three, but one is two-sided, so I got to pick one or the other. Maybe I could do like half of one and half of the other. But I found these for possibly doing a border around these ladies. So originally, I think I was like, oh, I'll just cut out this lady here. But once I started cutting them, I realized that I want both of them because they just have a really fascinating aesthetic, how they are. So I'm cutting them, and it's funny, I was cutting these gals and I was talking like you all were here and listening, and I was like, well, that's silly. If I'm gonna talk, I should just turn the camera on and talk. So I'll tell you what I told you, but you couldn't hear me. What I said was, I don't know what I'm going to do with the background for these ladies. And then I got the idea, let's move this out of the way. I got the idea that I think, so I'm definitely going to do butterfly wings on both of them. I have transparencies. I have Tim Holtz Ideology transparencies that are butterfly wings, and I'm going to use those. And I'm trying to trim up all of these little ends, and it's not super easy, but I'm not going to sit here quietly and cut. I'm going to cut and chatter at you and hopefully not curse too much at all of these small details that I've got to figure out how to get around. So I had a very busy weekend. My son and his girlfriend are in town, and my stepdaughter is here. But right now everybody's out. It's glorious. My son and his girlfriend came in for a concert, so they are at their concert, and I told my husband that it would be awesome if he wanted to take his daughter out, because he had mentioned all of us going out to see a movie, and I'm probably going to lose subscribers saying this, but I don't like movies. I don't know why that is. They're not my favorite thing to do. I don't like sitting in a dark room and watching a movie. I will do it and I will go, but I don't think that I get the same pleasure out of it that a lot of people do. I don't think there's anything wrong with people wanting to see movies. By all means, absolutely go to the movies. It's just not a thing that I like doing. I don't know. No idea why. I think I'm just gonna have to cut off her little wings on her eyes. So here's the secret to fussy cutting. Be fussy, but be real. And don't cut stuff that is like too intricate. I mean, unless you really want to. There's some people, there's a lady named Diane Fago, and she does amazing fussy cut collage. And man, she will sit there and cut out the most intricate florals. And there's a little piece of me that's like, I'm kind of jealous of that. I wish I had the patience to do that. But then I go, yeah, but you don't. So Let's just accept that fact about ourselves and move on. And I can admire her work. I wish that I could do that too, but it's not my jam. So I'm home alone and it's glorious. And I know I don't see the kids all that often. But after a family visit and then a very full week, I just didn't have it in me to do the whole social thing. I am a hardcore introvert, and it's really interesting. When we were younger, I remember my sister said to me one time, she said, I've just come to realize that if I have to interact with people, then I need time to myself to counterbalance that interaction as like, a break or a reset or something. And I remember going, wait, we can do that? Like, we can have a break? Like, we can take time for ourselves? And that was, to me, totally wild. Oh, she's got like a spiked collar on. Okay, well, now she doesn't. So that's how I am, and that's what I realize. If I don't get that alone time, I'm no good for anybody. So, I could force myself to go to a movie and be all rah, life is great. But that's just not who I am. And nobody's going to have a good time with me. I'm not going to have a good time. They're not going to have a good time. So it's all fine and dandy. And you know what's funny? We were actually talking at dinner, because we did go out to dinner with everybody. And we were talking at dinner, and my son was talking about these concerts that he's been to, because he loves going to concerts. And my husband says, oh yeah, we went to a concert together. And he said, because your mom couldn't go. And I said, why couldn't I go? And my husband and my son both went, I don't know. And then I said, because I didn't want to. And I laughed. And my husband said, you know what? I think it was because it was on a weeknight and you had to go to work. And I was like, yeah, that sounds right. And then I realized, you know what though? I don't have regret not taking my son to that concert. Like, I don't feel like I missed out on anything. I'm not like, oh, I should have taken him to that concert and, we could have had those memories together. Like, I don't get that feeling. And I don't know if that's because I'm content with the memories that we do have together. I don't know. Do I really hate going out on a weekday? On a weeknight that much? Probably so. Y'all, I don't like going out on a weeknight, let me tell you. Not at all. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little trick. So we got to cut out these inside parts, right? This is a trick a la Diane Reevely. She shares it in her free online videos. It's not a secret trick. You just cut. You cut her little hand. Because it's all going to be okay. You're going to glue her down anyway. No one will notice that you cut her hand. So you don't have to go get your X-Acto knife and fiddle around with all that. Look, when I glue her down, you're not going to... Look, can you tell? No, you can't. You won't be able to. I'm going to do it on this side too. I'm just going to snip right through there. This is probably the largest fussy cutting image I've ever done. I'm also, look, if you're cutting it out for the fashion, I'm lopping off pockets and things over here, so it might not be what you would do, and that's all right. We're all different people. We have different perspectives and experiences, and they're all worthy. Look at that. I got a lady with 2 cut wrists, but you know what? She's still there. So that's awesome. So my husband and I have been looking at a horse. So I window shop for horses a lot. It's like a little pastime. I am on a few horse Facebook groups. So I see them when they come in. You know, people are like, oh, I got this horse. It's looking for a new home, blah, blah, blah. And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, oh, it's just an old brown quarter horse. No big deal. But this horse came across, and it's only 2 hours from here. And it's a Tennessee Walker, which is what Leon is. And Leon needs a buddy. And so I messaged the nice lady about the horse. And she, of course, messaged me back. And the horse was in our price range, which is wild because this is a really great horse. But what's in our favor is that a lot of people out here don't like gaited horses. It's not like a gated community. It just means that they pick up all 4 feet independently instead of in a diagonal. So a trotting horse will pick up its front left and rear right at the same time. And then it'll do the other side. So it'll doo-doop, doo-doop. And a gaited horse, all 4 feet get picked up individually. It's fascinating to watch. And it's hard to learn to see if they are gaiting or not, because some gaited horses can't gait properly because of genetics and muscle. Anyway, it's a whole process. It's a whole thing. I sort of worry about it. I sort of don't. But I found this older gaited horse, Tennessee Walker. She's very pretty. She's a very, very, very dark brown. She was black when she was younger, but now she's turned to just a dark brown. Because we all grow old and our colors change. Even the horsies. But nobody's schedules are lined up for us to go and look at this horse. So we may lose out on her. Someone else may indeed want her. And may indeed get her. And that's okay. I am very chill and relaxed when it comes to buying horses, because the way I see it is the horse that is meant for you is going to come along. And you just have to wait for it. And it will come to you. You can't go to it. It's not how it works. All right, I'm cutting her arm so that I can get in here. Oh, she's got this bow. It's getting cut off. No bow for you, nice lady. We're not here for fashion. We're here for interesting collage. So anyway, that's kind of exciting and fun. The seller keeps sending me videos of the horse, which is also fun. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see her and they won't sell her before we can get out there. Oh, this is great. Look at this. Oh, this is really cool. I like that they are black and white on this really bright, vibrant background. That is really, really cool. Okay, I have something I want to do. I don't think that I'm done with this background. So I have this high flow acrylic from Golden. This is fluorescent blue. And I really want to try it out. And I bet y'all want to try it out with me. Please don't puke on me. Oh, good, it didn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How much do I need to shake this up? It does have a little ball in there. All right. But maybe the ball is just so, woo. Holy smokes. All right, this is me playing with actual art supplies and not really knowing exactly what I'm getting myself into. The cool thing that I like about this paint, and the reason I got it, is because it's translucent. Let's lift this page up. Ooh, that's a lot. All right, I put way too much on there. Hold tight. Hang on to your horses. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's way better. And then I'm gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna work through the ugly. It's not really that ugly. It's just very blue, and that's okay. Ooh, look how blue that is. It's like a bingo dauber. I-21, bingo! I don't actually know if that's a bingo number. All right, so I did that, but now I'm gonna go in with some fluorescent pink, which is more fluorescent pink. Then I want to put that on the top. Is this dry? Yes. Yeah, I know. That's how fast paint dries out here. It's not for the faint of heart out here. You gotta have lotion everywhere. You gotta have chapstick everywhere. It's a whole thing. Ooh. That's more like a fluorescent purple. Ooh. Anyway, if we end up getting a new horse, don't worry. You'll all be the first to know. Am I making a Barbie page? I feel like I might be making a Barbie page. Whoa. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just messing, and this is cool. Well, okie dokie then. All right, set that off to the side. I have pink on here. I'm gonna dry this actually. All right, so I dried this, and then I was like, what if I have all these stencils? What if we did the peacock stencil? Well, let me look at the other stencils first, because I have lots of new stencils. All right, maybe not lots, but I have some new stencils and masks. Let's see what I have. Oh, let's do this one. I like this one. This one I think I got from Joggles. I think it was on like super clearance. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually get a felt pad, not a foam, and I'm gonna try to do this I think I'm going to try to use this fluorescent green. I don't know what I'm doing. The fluorescent green may be too much. You know, it's too much. I'm not going to use the fluorescent green. I'm going to use the fluorescent pink. So put a pool down. Probably need a bit more than I would want. Cool, cool. Very pink. That's what I was going for. I wanted lots of pink. So let's, I kind of want, these to go off the edge a little. There we go. Okay. That's cool. I'm glad I didn't do that in green. Aren't y'all glad? I heard the collective sigh of relief out there. Okay, let me dry this. Okay, I cut that out, but it was literally only like 1.3 seconds. So, her little chin got bent. That's fine. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, let me make sure that my paints are all closed up. Okay, so here's my transparencies. I got all sorts of stuff in here, so let's pull some of them out. Some of them are very small, and I don't really want to do the small ones or lose them either. So she could have moth wings, maybe. Oh, here we go. Let's take out the moth wings. Butterfly wings. These aren't quite big enough, are they? Nope. They need to be bigger, and I don't think I have anything bigger. I think she should have dragonfly wings. She's kind of the sidekick, you know? Oh, I like that. Yeah. We could even have that one come out like that. And then, ooh, those are big. She could have big, huge moth wings. Do I have any bright ones? Well, these, but they're still yellow. No, I do have these moth ones. Okay, so this is a possibility. We're not going to do bat wings. Instead of giving her full wings, I could just do grasshopper wings. It's the same side. Here's the other side. So she could just get, oh yeah, like that. What if I did the green ones? I could just cut them. Well, let's just cut these green ones, because why the heck not? It's silly to keep them intact. Okay. Oops. And then that one. And then she gets that one. And that one. Okay. All right. Hang on. I also have this just black and white set. If we don't want her to have color, she could just have black and white set. Let's trim these in half. So she could have black and white there. And black and white there. All right. Okay, that's a singular wing. Ooh, these are so staticky. Oh my gosh. Here's another moth. Ooh, that's kind of neat. Oh, well, hang on. What if we didn't give her butterfly wings, but we gave her a moth head? Oh. Oh, I like that. Okay. All right. All right. This feels good. Let's see. The red kind of disappears, so let's save the red, and we could just do a black one. Yeah. And you can see the green. What if we did a little monarch? Because you can see the blue and the green. Yeah, you can see the orange. Okay. Well, okay, I may use these little butterflies, I'm not sure. So, here's what we have so far. We can have that. Do I want to use any of these instead of that? I mean, I could also ooh, I could also do that with her hair. And then I could put they would need to come down, and she would have to lose that one. So that one would have to go, because those would overpower everything. But she could even get two that way. Okay. All right. Give me a little bit. I'm getting there. What if we did that? All right. Whoa. Okay. All right, so we could give her two of those. She would get butterfly eyes. All right, so the question is, do we want to use these in any way? We could put them at their feet. You know, I like a good stage. Let's cut this. Oh, you know what? I'll go cut with my paper trimmer. All right, so let's hang these back up. And then let's see if we can get this under them. Oh, that's kind of cool, especially if we pull it that way. That's kind of neat. Whoa, I trimmed that the right size. I may have to trim off some. All right, so what if we did something like this? Oh yeah. Yep, we can put that up there, and we can cut this down a little. Actually, I know what to do. Took a little bit more than I wanted off of the rainbow, but I do have some here, so I could add it in like that. So it looks like they're standing on a stage. There's a crowd at their feet. Ah! And they are human bug superheroes. All right. Yes! I'm gonna glue this down. Okay. This is great. I'm gonna remember to glue the correct order. The ladies are down. Let me move this out of the way. Hold this up so you can see it. There they are. Fabulous. Holy smokes. Pretty dang smooth. There are some globs where the glue is globbed under them, but that's way better than it all being wrinkled, because I mean, most of the time it just wrinkles. I guess all the wrinkles do come out, don't they? Uh-oh. Somebody's got to do their August challenge. Who could that be? Me. It's me. I need to do that. Anyway, okay. This is gonna be fun. All right. Those gals are awesome. I will probably just outline them with Posca. I don't know. I might doodle in here somewhere, somehow. Or you know what? I may even get some star stickers and put down here. But, all right. They're so good. All right, this is all ever evolving, but this is what it looks like. If I happen to update it before I post this video, I'll give you a little update at the end of this video. So if there looks to be time left right now, that means you get an update. Bye.